Okay, it is Saturday morning. I finally checked emails and stuff and realized there was a conference yesterday, Saturday, one-day conference. Hey, Neela, one of the cats, on I-EXO, consciousness type of conference. One day, hosted by Portal to Ascension. I'll put both of their links down below. It was good. So I registered for it. We had some errands to run, and it's like, oh, I really want to see this conference. So I did the conference. We'll run the errands today. And if you're wondering about the bed back here, yeah, I slept in this bed because I was in our main bed with my wife, and all the cats piled in between us and started pushing me off the bed. They kept snuggling up closer and closer and closer, pushing me off the bed. So I came in here. That didn't work. As soon as I got in bed here, boom, all the cats jumped on me. It's like, and it's probably because I feed them morning and night. I'm the one that feeds them. I always have. So they gravitate toward me. I'm a cat magnet. So it didn't help come in here anyway. But the conference was good. It was good. I want to remember what I watched, but there were so many weird coincidences, synchronicities going on throughout the conference that it kept drawing my focus away. It's like, what's happening, kind of thing. So I don't even hardly remember what I heard throughout the conference. It was just all these synchronicities hitting me. Things like there was one lady, Maya. She's a storyteller type, but her background is just like mine. She was born like me and had some dark stuff dealing with it like me. And it's like, well, that's really interesting. And she asked during the conference if anybody has any stories they'd like to share, any experiences or stories they'd like to share, send them to her. I'm like, that's what all these videos are that I put out here. I even put in a couple of videos. This is just the story of me learning through my strange happenings and again, learning trial by error again, and then reading books. I put that in there and that these are just experiences. I'm not a teacher. So it's like, well, that's what she asked for. So while she's still speaking, I opened up a email and sent her a link to this and said, here you go, you asked for it, so good luck, kind of thing. I don't know. But see, that drew my attention away from what they were actually saying, so I wasn't really paying full attention. Being present in the moment, in the now, I really wasn't. I was just too distracted constantly. There's also the presenter last name had the same last name as a neighbor from when I was a young tot living in that haunted house. There was a neighbor down the street, one neighbor that I just loved, and she had the same last name. The neighbor had a greenhouse. That's where I got my love for greenhouses from. They made their own wine. Probably even from that, I learned to make my own beer for a while until I became extremely allergic to it, kind of thing. Allergic to it, lovely. But she had the same last name, so that distracted me. I was thinking about that, memories and all that kind of thing. So I kept getting distracted. And then Neil, he's the main guy from Portal to Ascension, hosting all this. And he mentioned at one point, astral traveling, that his favorite place to go was Titan, one of the moons around Saturn. I was just like, what? Just what? Somebody else just like me on that one. It was like, wow. So I immediately had to open up an email and send him an email going, I didn't send it to him. I sent it to Portal info at Portal to Ascension. So I don't know if he'll get it or not, but it was like, wow, just wow. And it just kept on going like that. Just so many synchronicities and coincidences. I could not pay attention to what the people were saying. It was, oh well, just oh well. I'm sorry. I probably missed out on a lot of good information, but I can review it. That's the good thing. Because I did sign up for the seminar, I can go back and have unlimited replays of what they do, so I can go back and rewatch it on the portaltoascension.org website. It's free to become a member, so that's really, really nice. So I can go back and rewatch it and maybe see what people were saying, that kind of thing. Another thing that was really interesting, another person came up about remote viewing, different types, and she has her own particular type of remote viewing. And her name was Nancy, a presenter on remote viewing. I thought, well, this is interesting. Maybe it's like my clairvoyance thing, seeing through walls, that kind of thing, whatever it is. So she actually did a little test with the participants. So I kind of pulled it up so you can see here. I created something So you can see here, she held up 2 cards. God, the light is really washing these out, aren't they? One was blue, one was yellow. And she's like, I want you to try to imagine, remote view, picture what's the card's going to be when I turn it over, what image is going to be on the card when I flip it over. Pick one, just one. I picked blue. So, it's like, okay, well, there's that. So she goes, what you do is image, and she give you a few minutes. So, to write down 5 words. You write down 5 words to what that image might be. So I wrote down 5 words, and I'm writing them down now. So these are the words I wrote down for my blue list. Boat, dock, water, carrier, crane. That's the words I wrote down. So it's like, okay, that's just the images or words I'm getting to write down here. And so after that, she flipped it over. And sorry for the washed out picture, our inner ink jets out of ink, but it was really a beautiful little rowboat on the shore with bright blue water behind it. It's really a lot of water, mostly just the boat and water. And that was at least 2 of the words that I wrote down was boat and water. The other was dock. Maybe the dock would be like it's parked, you know, kind of parked somewhere. So, but that didn't really match up. The dock didn't match up. The carrier and the crane didn't match up. So I got 2 out of the 5. So I thought that was funny. I got 2 out of the 5. But anyway, that was interesting. That was kind of a fun little exercise. So yeah, it was another fun little conference, and still learning. And there's another Zoom meeting coming up on Monday. Our little personal Cosmic Consciousness Zoom meeting. Just talk and see what's going on. So there. Oh, one extra thing. I forgot. It was just so many synchronicities. At one point, they talked about this. There was this engineer that channeled different writing styles, 3 or 4 different writing styles and images and graphics designs and things like that. One of the styles of writing, I looked at the top of the right page he had, looked like this stuff. It looked like this stuff that I write. It reminded me of it. Not exactly the same, but it was really close to this. That's so weird. So, putting this out there, this is sometimes what I call about what I mentioned in another video, backwards learning is what I call it. It's not backwards learning. I don't know what it is. But that little language I just put up in that little clip, that kind of thing that I write, I put that out and showed that on my video before this conference. And then there it was. This is what I'm talking about, is I'm putting these videos out, talking about my experiences and things like that, then later, I see somebody else just like me talking about it, or this other thing pops up and there it is. It's just moving like that. I don't know why. Maybe I'm on the right path for whatever, but it's doing that. And it just did it again with what you see on the previous video. I talked about this light language and this writing that I do that I've always done. I used to do it on pages and pages in the past, and I still do now. It's not a problem. I just write like that. I don't know why. I don't meditate or anything like that. It just happens. And then there it is on this conference yesterday. It's just the very next day from putting this video out. That's just odd.